Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Fish Room. My name is Travis. Today I want to give you an update on the 300-gallon reef, as well as talk about the new display, what I've decided to go with, and my overall process and timeline for you guys to start to see videos not only on that display tank, but the coral grow out tubs, as well as rebuilding or finishing the building that will be going into, the temporary setup, the quarantine tanks, the fish quarantine. There's a whole bunch of stuff, as well as we're going to be setting up this 300-gallon again, but in a different location. So there's a lot going on, and I want to give you a rough idea and timeline when you should be expecting some of those videos to come out. Now, before I get into that, I want to address, it's not so much an issue, but I'm really big on kind of being transparent when it comes to what I do here for the business side of things. So today we're going to talk about the coral in the 300-gallon reef, and this might be a little bit of a long video, but I want to talk about kind of cutting it, the process, if you've already ordered coral, why you might be waiting longer for it to ship, and if you plan on getting in on the coral sale, which is $15 to $20 per frag, how long that's going to last, and when you should expect the corals to ship. So right off the bat, I want to say thank you to everybody who has placed an order for coral. There's been hundreds of orders, and there's still a lot that need to go out. The issue that I'm having is I can't cut and heal things fast enough. I really try not to send anything that's not going to make it through shipping. I really don't. Now, there's a fine line between people being upset that their order hasn't shipped and coral being healed enough for that to go out. So I'd much rather get yelled at from somebody being mad and then ship out a coral that's going to die during transit. Now, when I first started the sale, I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of frags ready to go, shipped. There was no issue for the first couple hundred orders. But now that we're kind of moving into it, and I have to get in here every single day and cut coral and let that stuff heal. Now, the healing time for me is about 2 weeks, and I feel pretty comfortable for the majority of Aquapora to go out and SPS within 2 weeks once it started to heal. Now, the issue I'm having is, it's not a bad one, but it is something to consider, is that my calcium reactor is going through the roof right now. I have my calc reactor also just kind of going, I'm at 15,000 milliliters a day on that. And the issue I'm having is I'm having really low alkalinity in the tank. I've been sitting under 7 for the past week because I'm cutting so much coral. And I knew this was going to happen, and I've been prepared for it. But there is a point where I need to step back and give the tank and the system time to heal. So orders are continuing to pour in, but the coral needs to heal for a little bit. So right now, the turnaround time for shipping realistically is 1 to 3 weeks on coral orders, and there's not really much I can do about it. I don't want to set you guys up for failure sending out corals that aren't healed. Now, granted, there are still hundreds of frags that are ready to go, but if you're ordering a mixture of things and some of those aren't healed, I'm not going to just ship you stuff that's kind of half healed and then fully healed. It's just not going to happen that way. So be prepared if you are going to participate in the $15 to $20 frag sale that I have over the next couple months on this system, that you got to be ready to wait for that order to ship. There's really no way around it, and I'm just first come, first serve. If your order's in, you're closer to getting shipped. It's just kind of how it is, just like I run my 3D printing. I try not to jump around and ship things out that I just can't. Now, if you have a day that you want it to be delivered, please contact me early on after you order so I can set that up. There's no guarantees on that, but I will do my best to accommodate what you need. So with that being said, transparency-wise, that's just kind of how it is, man. I try not to be too, I guess, un-customer service about it, but I refuse to set people up for failure. I try not to the best of my ability, and in really every aspect of life. So if you order coral, you gotta just be prepared to wait for it to heal or for it to be ready to go. It's just kind of how it is, and I do apologize. Hopefully it doesn't scare too many of you away, but it is. It's a $15 to $20 sale, and yeah, so it's what it is at this point. So moving on to the next thing here, the main display for the new building is, I've settled on it. As you guys know, Custom Aquariums is a sponsor of this channel. I went with them, of course, with a 300. I'm going with a 12-foot long by 3 foot wide by 30-inch tall. It's about 700-ish gallons, and basically the same thing as the 300, just longer, a little bit wider, same type of overflows. And with lighting, you guys know that Kessel's a big fan of the channel, or a sponsor of the channel. I've worked with them before with the tubs. I'm going with 6 500Xs over that, and I'm going to be running 3 500Xs over each of the 5 120-gallon grow out tubs. So I'm going Kessel for that. Geo's Reef, we're going to do a custom sump for that whole entire setup. Calcium reactor, the whole 9 yards. Basically, it's the same thing I'm going with here with the 300, just on a much bigger scale. And I'm looking to lean towards hydros for the controller, mainly because just the backup with them and how they share the same brain, and I can just keep the system together. It's just a better, in my opinion, overall system than I have with the Apex. Now the 300 is going to go into my movie room, and I'm going to keep my current Apex stuff on there, my current sump, and it's basically just going to be a fun hobby tank that I can basically enjoy. I'm going to put sand in it for the first time in years because I like sand. I just don't like it for a business side of things. And then of course the building will have the non-sand 700 with all the tubs, right? So that's the plan. Now the timeline for this is, tank is 8 to 10 weeks out. I haven't ordered it yet because I have to get to the new house, which we're waiting on that. That's a process in itself to get there. I have to finish the building, meaning I have to insulate it. I already have electricity out there, but I have to make sure that the electric is where it needs to be for the mini splits, for all the ventilations, the air exchangers. I'm going to be doing all the work when it comes to insulation, the sheetrock. I'm going to be doing some staining on the floor. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to do myself, which is going to take time. Meanwhile, we have an attached garage which will hold a temporary setup, which will be, there's a $1 per gallon sale going on for tanks at Petco. So I'm going to be doing like a 60-gallon sump, new pump. We're going to throw a tub on there and do some coral quarantines and fish quarantine, all that kind of stuff. And we'll have a temporary setup as well as a temporary setup for all the 3D printers while the building is being finished over several months. So I will share this entire process with you guys. I'll show you everything that I can and just kind of go from there. But bear with me. The coral grow out setup is not going to be happening for quite a while. Now when it comes to that, the plan is I make these 3D printed grow out disc. Basically it's a disc that holds rock, keeps it weighted so you don't have to worry about flopping around, and my 5 tubs, or at least 4 of the 5 tubs, will have nothing but these in there growing colonies. Now I'm going to get these colonies, or these mini frags, from all over the place. I got a lot of friends, I got some wholesalers. Once I get stuff in, it goes into a coral quarantine tank. I have 2 coral quarantine systems, and those will go through that process. Once they pass quarantine, they will go into the grow out system as well as the 700-gallon display tank. And yeah, it's gonna be a process. It's a long process, but I think it will be worth it in the end. Now there's only 1 fish out of the 300 that's going to be going over to the 700, possibly 2. Big blue and my blue hippo tang, or my sailfin tang. I might do 1 or even all 3. I haven't decided, but they're the larger of the fish in here, the most aggressive. So maybe Big Blue will be in the 700-gallon by itself for a few months, you know, doing I Am Legend in there with all that swimming space. So yeah, with Rock, if you guys were wondering, with Rock, I am working, I do, you know, Marco's Rock does sponsor the channel on a couple builds, so I'm working with them to get Rock for the setup. I don't really know how much I need just yet, but there's a lot of stuff kind of in the works. And yeah, I just want to fill you guys in. So yeah, if it sounds like a lot, it is. And realistically, if you're not aware of this, you're new to the channel, I am a one-man show. So I do all the 3D printing, all the custom, all the zooms, all the calls, everything, and all the coral cutting, printing, and shipping, just everything, all by myself, on top of having the boys teaching jiu-jitsu and trying not to die of a heart attack because I eat myself to death. Trust me, man, I got my own struggles. But anyways, there's just a lot going on. So if there's a delay in communication, or if there's a delay in shipping, or if there's something going on, trust me, none of this stuff is personal, but I do my best to try to keep tabs on everybody and remember everybody and their situation. So with that being said, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I can't wait to kind of move on and try some new things, and I really can't wait to get into a 700-gallon reef tank. That's I thought the 300 was my last tank in my dream, and it just has escalated quickly. If you guys have been here for a long time, I think we're coming up on 10 years, or at least 9 years on YouTube. If you've been here, it's started off really small in a little closet, and well, here we go. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to put that in the comment section. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe. If you want to support me, head over to fishofhex.com. There's like 500 3D printed items, and you know the deal and the spiel. All right, peace.